constant attempts to sell you stuff. Who does that? Selling you gold sneakers and $100,000 watch and most recently a Trump Bible. He wants you to buy the Word of God, Donald Trump edition. Got his name right there next to Matthew and Luke. I mean, you could not make this stuff up.
Ever since he rode down that escalator, Trump has positioned himself as tough on China, often blasting their trade practices. So it will come as no surprise that the man who lied almost 31,000 times while in office outsourced his God Bless America Bibles to China.
Trump's God Bless America Bible. The most patriotic Bible there is. Well, a funny little piece of information just came out about the God Bless America patriotic Bibles. Turns out they're manufactured in China. Donald Trump's God Bless America Bibles are manufactured in China.
If I pay $90 for a Bible, I'm going to heaven, like off the top.
Or if it's Donald Trump's Bible, you might go somewhere else.
Okay. I mean, look, a regular Bible will set you back $5, $10, maybe 20.
$3 actually on Amazon. You can get it for $3 on Amazon.
Let's just start with the very beginning of this, which was this Oklahoma decision to have to mandate Bibles in school. Oklahoma students are struggling so much with math and reading and writing right now, as are lots of students across the United States because of being left behind, because of the pandemic and limited resources in education at this point. The idea that we are now mandating the Bible be taught in school, darn the separation of church and state. And I am a Republican and I own a Bible. I can tell you this is not going on the right track. When I first heard this, I thought, okay, he's trying to make a move to get this to the Supreme Court, right? He's going to try and litigate this and make this a big case.
We're not talking enough about the fact that, and I don't know what cut Trump gets from these things. I don't know how much Lee Greenwood gets, right? I know this. This is money going from the state to him in some form or fashion. We can't just roll our eyes and shrug that off. That is crazy.
Should come as no surprise, but it's still a surprise that the man trying to become the president of the United States has zero loyalty to Americans. He talks about the fact that Chinese cheap manufacturing is cutting jobs in America. And this is the thing that the Biden-Harris administration isn't stopping, all while the same time manufacturing his Bibles, according to an AP report, for the cost of $3 in China, and then selling them to Americans for the cost of $59.99. This man has no ends to what he's willing to do, apparently. And he has told us over and over that he plans on running the country like he does his businesses. So that means he plans on running the country without any ethics, without any loyalty to Americans, that he doesn't mind making a buck, even if that means that he's doing it at the expense of American workers. I mean, this is what he has been doing. And it's not just this company that we should be wondering how he plans on running the country like his businesses. Let's talk about the number of bankruptcies Trump has had over the years. Taj Mahal, the casino he had in Atlantic City, opened in April 1990, filed for bankruptcy just about a year later, July of 1991. Two other Atlantic City casinos also filed bankruptcy in 1992. His Plaza Hotel in New York filed for bankruptcy in 1992 also. And then his Trump Hotels and Casinos Resorts filed for bankruptcy in 2004, and his Trump Entertainment Resorts filed for bankruptcy in 2009. So if he plans on running the country like he does his companies, it means he plans on going into bankruptcy. And it sure is true. His first time around as president, he ran up the national debt. Sounds a little bit like bankruptcy to me. And a little fun fact is that the Plaza Hotel was one of his kind of like premier companies. It actually had been doing well for a while. And that's because his then wife, Ivana Trump, was running it. That was actually evidently one of the things he didn't like about her, and made sure that his next wives were never involved with his business. Well, sure enough, he divorced her in 1990, and it was 2 years later, when it was just him in charge, that it filed for bankruptcy. But it's not just those companies. Let's talk about Truth Social, which has catered, and any Americans, any of his followers that invested in it, has lost a lot of money. What about his New York civil fraud conviction against his company? We could talk over and over again about the fact that nobody would ever want their business run like Trump's business, never mind our country run like Trump. And in this latest example with his Chinese manufacturing, showing the disloyalty, the willingness to choose himself over the American workers.
Now the casino Trump dubbed the eighth wonder of the world will take him on his first trip to the bankruptcy court.
His well-documented and severe financial downturn in the past year and his public humiliation as his once mighty empire cracked and then crumbled.
Yeah, I think we're going to do very well with it. I think it's going to be, over the long term, a great business decision.
Even as the New York Times raises the specter of Trump's casino empire facing bankruptcy, his showbiz career is soaring.
I've had a great life. I've enjoyed my life. I've had a lot of fun. I've had some downs, but, I've had friends that went out of business. You'll never see them again. I never went bankrupt.
What goes up must come down. And today, Trump Entertainment Resorts, owners of the Trump Taj Mahal, the Trump Plaza, and the Trump Marina casinos in Atlantic City, filed for bankruptcy protection. Trump himself stepped down from the board of directors on Friday, along with his daughter Ivanka.
I have used the laws of this country, the chapter laws, to do a great job for my company, for myself, for my employees, for my family, etc.
One of the big customers of Trump's Bible was going to be the Oklahoma public education system. Yes, you heard that right. The Oklahoma State Superintendent Ryan Walters wrote an initiative requiring Bibles to be used in the Oklahoma schools. But the way he wrote it, it said that the Bible had to include the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Well, as you know, the Bible doesn't usually include those documents, but Trump's Bible did, which meant that the entire education system would have had to pay for this overpriced Bible. Well, when all this news reporting came out, the state superintendent changed the initiative to say that the Bible then had to be delivered alongside the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Rather than try to apologize about the fact that he was going to mandate Trump's specific Bible in there, he said that it was because liberals hate Trump and the Bible so much they will go to any means necessary to stop the initiative, end quote. Okay, let's just talk about this Christian nationalism that's like shockingly happening in the Oklahoma school system. According to him, the reason why Bibles should even be there is because they have, quote, historical significance. Well, as a churchgoer myself and somebody who's, yes, a liberal and not somebody who hates the Bible, let me tell you that the historical significance of the Bible is literally the separation of church and state. I mean, don't you remember? That's a whole reason why they were leaving England, because of religious persecution, and the whole purpose of our country was to have it not be a religious country. So I don't know about you, but this state superintendent maybe needs to go back to school and learn a little something about the history of our country and stop trying to mandate a certain religion in our schools. Because not only is it bad for our schools to have to learn about religion, but it's bad for the religion to be so tied to the government. If you see in countries where there isn't a separation between church and state, the church often gets corrupted as much as the state gets corrupted when the two of them get together.
This morning, an apparent shift in Oklahoma's plan to buy Bibles for all public schools in the state.
We are bringing the Bibles back to Oklahoma classrooms because of its historical significance throughout this nation's history.
Oklahoma's Superintendent of Public Instruction, Ryan Walters, recently allocated $3 million for the Bibles, and in searching for a supplier, the Education Department issued requirements that appeared to be for the Lee Greenwood God Bless the USA Edition Bible, which includes the Pledge of Allegiance, Declaration of Independence, and Bill of Rights. It's also the Bible on which former President Trump makes royalties. But after legal questions were raised, the Education Department changed the Bible vendor requirements to say the supplier must provide a different Bible, the King James Bible.
I have no knowledge of who will be the person who provides these Bibles to the schools. I don't know who the vendor will be.
Ryan Walters is defending his original proposal.
The fake news media is at it again. This time their hatred of President Trump and their hatred of the Bible has made them so incensed that they've been lying about what we're doing here in Oklahoma in regards to Bibles in the classroom.
So who remembers last week when I talked about this guy, Ryan Walters, the school superintendent for Oklahoma, and how he wanted to purchase 55,000 Bibles to put in public schools across Oklahoma? Only he had requirements for them. It had to be New King James and Old and New Testament, which is not a big deal. But it also had to have the Bill of Rights and the Pledge of Allegiance and the Constitution, things that should just be in textbooks, but had to be in the Bible. Oddly enough, there's only one Bible on the market that met all of his very specific requirements, and that's Trump's God Bless America Bible. The most patriotic Bible there is. Well, a funny little piece of information just came out about the God Bless America patriotic Bibles. Turns out they're manufactured in China. Donald Trump's God Bless America Bibles are manufactured in China. They retail for $60. They cost $3 per Bible. Remember, Ryan Walters wants to buy 55,000 of them. That would be $3.3 million at retail price. But here's a question that I have. Donald Trump wants to fix everything with tariffs. He wants to put massive tariffs on things that are manufactured outside of the United States and then shipped in. Would that include his Bibles? Or do these somehow get an exemption? That question is rhetorical because I think we all know what the answer is.
Love this video? Make sure you stay up to date on the latest breaking news and all things Meidas by signing up to the MeidasTouch newsletter at MeidasTouch.com/newsletter.